Hi there. Today we are going to continue the talk about the modeling of complex objects in Vectorworks. In the previous video we talked about how to model the seat of the rattan armchair, and today I'm going to focus on the legs of the armchair. Let's see the reference picture so we could study the legs. Okay, first let's switch to the guidelines class, and I have already placed here the lines of the perspective restoration. And yeah, let's place a line that shows the direction of the main trunk of the leg, and somewhere in this point let's project it to the diagonal. Okay, let's place another straight line in the base of the leg. We are going to copy the existing vanishing point line and place it to the base of the projection line. Then let's continue the first line until it touches the straight line over here. Then we're going to continue the straight piece until it touches the vanishing point line that goes through the center of the object. And that's it. Then let's place a second straight piece that goes through the center of the object, and we are going to connect it to the line that touches the contour of the object on the image. Then let's duplicate the vanishing point line and place it into the intersection of the previous two lines, and then I'm going to connect the last line and the first piece, the first straight piece here, and I'm going to place a few points. That's it, and make a group. I've just copied it and going to place over here, not that, this one. Okay, then let's rotate it until the left point touches the this straight line. I'm going to use arc, not in this mode but in the first one, and then goes the rotation tool. We may want to explode the group. And that's it. Now it's possible to project these points to the plane view. I think that the projection of the legs, the points where they touch the ground, could be represented as a rectangle. Not a rectangle, but a square. So since this line is a projection of this vanishing point line, I understand that I need to create a rectangle goes from the center until this line. So let's switch to the legs, or maybe it's more correct to say supports layer, and I'm going to switch off the seat. And now I see that the group of thin tubes belongs to the guidelines. So let's place it to the correct layer, and also this one. Okay. I'm going to use from center to corner mode of the rectangle tool, and I'm holding Shift button. Let me see through the seat layer. Okay, so here will be the points where legs touch the ground. And I'm going to place diagonals, and they are the same that we see here in the deformed view of perspective. Okay, then comes the next point, this one, and let's go to the perspective and see what it represents. So this point is a projection of the point where leg comes to the seat. Let me place a second point here. Alright. Then I'm going to rotate the plan view. So the diagonal is now in the horizontal state, and I'm going to make a side view of the leg apart of the plan view. Then we need to understand the height of the leg. So maybe it's not the time to rotate. Let's go back. Yeah, it's definitely not time to rotate plane, and we have no information to create the side view. So let's open the seat, and why don't we hide the rattan class? And I'm going to make visible the hidden layer, so the original volume of the rattan seat will be shown. Then I'm going to select the diagonal and extrude it. And also, in my opinion, it's good to shorten the diagonal so it starts from this point and comes to the second one. So let me enter the extrude. I'm going to switch on visibility of other objects. Then I'm going to assign it to the none class. So the thought is that we could find the projection of this point to the volume of the egg where the surface cuts the egg. So I'm going to select them together and click once with right click. Not yet, because it's an extrusion. Yeah, it should work actually. But they are on different layers, so we need to place, for example, this object to the guidelines. So I'm going to copy it or even duplicate and place the duplicate to the guidelines layer. Then I'm going to hide the hidden. And also the seat. Okay, now let's select both of them and go to the right click and look for intersect, but they're still on the different layers. So now it should work. So I have switched to the active layer, so I'm in hope that now the command will be available. Yeah, now I see the group of Boolean commands on the list, so it will be the intersect solids command, and I'm going to place a 3D lotse over here. So then why don't we place this patch to the hidden layer? We could need it over the time, so let's hit assign to selection. Then why don't we create a working plane, and there is no object to snap to, so I'm going to switch to the first 3 points mode, and the first will be, yeah, it will go from this point, it will be the center one from here, and the second to this point. And it's good to save the working plane, but before I saved it I want to rotate it, so the positive x-axis will go from the center towards the center of the object. So I'm going to rotate around the y-axis 180 degrees, and then I'm looking for save working plane, so it will be, okay, supports the first. So now I'm sure that I'm not going to lose this working plane. Then I'm still in the guidelines class, so I'm going to place a line. So this line is a representation in 3D of this one. It starts from point where the leg touches the ground and comes to the seat. Perfect. Then we need to understand the dimensions of this platform. Yeah, in this case we definitely need to consider the approximation. It's very difficult to find the real size of this platform. So, but we are going to try to go as close as we can. So I'm going to place another straight piece here, and I'm going to measure where the platform finishes. I think somewhere here. Let me place a point. Up. Yeah. So the same will be here. So this point is projected to the ground like that. Yeah, because we have straight piece over here. The same is located over here, and here is going to be a projection point of this one. Then I'm going to duplicate the line that goes to the vanishing point and place the ending of the line to the intersection. Then I'm going to continue the line until it touches the straight piece in the base of the leg. Let me place another vertex here, actually not a vertex, a point, and I'm going to group the line and the point, and then I press Command+C, copy command, and going to paste and place it. Then I'm going to rotate it again, like so. Let me place it a bit to the bottom, just to show that we have one group and the second one here. And I'm going to project it. I'm not sure where, but let's see from the image. No, it will be just this width is the width of the platform, so we don't need to project it. So it's about 75 or 80 millimeters in width. Alright, so let's rotate the view. I'm going to enter the hidden layer and copy the egg volume again. Then I want to go back to the layer where the line is located, and then I'm going to hide the hidden layer. I'm placing back the egg volume. So I realize that I need to restore the patch that we have created before. But now I'm going to enter it and enlarge the extruded line until it goes to the center. From the image, I understand that the closest edge of the support base or platform is in parallel line with the slice. So it's going to go from, let me show you actually. On the screen. So it's going to come like that in the parallel state with the edge. So it's good to know. And we could do the following. Let's place a working plane over here, and then when it's placed, just drag and drop it to the point. Let's hide the egg volume. Yeah, for some reason it does not go to this point. But don't worry, we are going to create a rectangle in corner to corner mode. And then when it is ready, just place it to the point. Why don't we put it into the none class? And then I'm going to create, oops, let's go back. Let's make the none class active, and I'm going to create a surface from this rectangle. I'll just place back the egg volume. So we could study that this new surface is going to intersect the egg volume, and the result will be a curve that is in the parallel state with the edge of the cut here. Okay, why don't we do so? Alright, then I'm going to extract the edge, so I'm going to switch to the curves, and it's good to set to turn off the select faces option, so only the edges separately will be selected. I just want to save this working plane. I'm not sure that we are going to use it later, but it's good to save your working planes. So supports the second. So now, without fear, I could delete the surface. Okay, then let's place a rectangle. Using the matrix, please select the left upper corner and type in 75. So it's a horizontal projection of this measure. Yeah, here we had 76, but let's approximate. So somewhere here we are going to have the intersection. I'm not sure that these two kinds of objects are going to be intersected and get a snap point of the intersection. So maybe we need to create a surface of it and try to intersect them. No, it doesn't work, but let's go back. There is a split tool and let's try to cut these NURBS. Oh yeah, that worked. Then let's create a straight piece of line, goes from the locus over here and the place of the intersection of the rectangle and the NURBS curve. We don't need the rectangle anymore. Alright, then let's go to the set working plane, switch to the first mode and do the following. The start will be over here, then like that, and that's it. Let's rotate it slightly. Okay, when you placed such a working plane, let's select it and rotate around the line that goes here. So we are going to use the x-axis. I'm holding the shift button. Okay. Then I'm going to create another line, or maybe rectangle is better. In the matrix, please be sure that the right upper corner is selected, and for the, in this case, height will be 75. Okay, then I'm going to place another line over here. Let's delete this one. I'm not sure that we need it. And actually we need to measure this one. It's 81. Let me round it to 80. And also this one will be enlarged to 80, but not from this point, from this one. So they are equal. So we just approximate the measures, and maybe we need to approximate even the angle. So now we see the gap between this one and the rectangle. yeah, I'm going to approximate. So the base, the platform, will be in the perpendicular state to the main trunk. Because in real life it's not true, yeah, but we need to approximate. I'm going to select the line and the curve and place them to the hidden layer. Yeah. So then I want the seat to show up. And study how this rectangle sits on the seat. Yeah, but I need to turn off the egg volume. Yeah, it's on the hidden layer, so maybe it's better to turn on the hidden layer. I'm going to extrude it slightly, just for analysis. I think not bad. These two pieces are almost straight. Okay. So let's go back to the reference image. In my opinion, the shape of the base of the platform is something like that. Oops. Not what I was expected. Okay, let me place straight pieces. So I think that its shape is something like that. It's a polygon. You may disagree with me, but I have only this image and I judge on the base of what I have. So I think it's something like that. So let me delete it and go back to the plane, to the rectangle. Then the next step is to place a working plane right on the rectangle. And why don't we save it? This one is definitely useful and we are going to use it much. So let's find save working plane command, support the third. Okay, and let's grab the Polygon tool. So this piece definitely should be straight. Then we need to decide on the distance. So I'm going to type in 20. Then it definitely goes 45 degrees, comes to the straight piece, goes 20 millimeters toward this direction and goes back to the base point. Let's delete the previous rectangle. We've just created the platform shape. Then why don't we create filleting of the edges? And yeah, we need to understand the diameter of the main trunk. I think it's about 15 millimeters. So let's grab the circle. Maybe we need to reshape the platform a bit later. So the radius will be 7.5. Just want to extrude it and study how thick it is. I think it's okay. So looks natural. Yeah, and I realized that I need to reshape the base, the platform, because it does not finish over here. It goes until it touches the front surface of the trunk. Let me use the Reshape tool in the second mode, Move Edge mode. One more thing, let me check up the units. So the rounding will be 0.5. Okay. So now we see instead of 8, 7.5. Yeah. Let's delete this one. And why don't we use our eyes just to decide visually? After all, we don't have the drawings. Alright, so that's it. Let me go until I find, not here of course, because it's flat fillets. So the tool will be in the basic tool set. And yeah, let's type the radius of the trunk, so 7.5. I want all the corners to be rounded, so I just click twice within the boundary of the shape. So as a result, everything was rounded. Then let's use the Pushpull tool and make very modest extrusion, -4. And why don't we move the face of the trunk here? It's not simple because we can't select the proper face, so I'm going to hide the platform and only then, knowing the distance, move the face of the trunk. And then I have placed back the platform. Okay, not bad. Now we need to divide the dummy of the trunk into the pieces, because when we start the image we see that, okay, here it starts, then it comes to the, I don't know how to name it, rattan skirting, or I don't know. Then there is a lid in the ending of the leg, and also we have something like a rubber, a small rubber in the finish of the leg, in the base of it. So we need to divide, and yeah, let's select this diagonal and continue it until it comes to the horizon line. Then I'm going to duplicate it, and it's going to reflect the division of the leg. Yeah, it will be approximated, of course. Let's then continue it and create another straight piece, a vertical one that rises from the base point of the support. Yeah, and I've just realized that I used the none class. Let's switch to the guidelines. Let's connect these two objects using the join command, Command+J on Mac, Control+J on Windows. Then yeah, why don't we use special command for, let me remember where it is, this one, connect combine tool. in the mode of multiple object connect mode. So let's select the line where we are going to connect objects to. So I'm going to click on the object that I want to be enlarged. Then let me place lossy like that. Sorry. Why don't we freeze this using the lock command? Let's select the line and the lossy and group it. I'm going to copy and place it over here. First we need to rotate it around the x-axis, so it will be really vertical, reflecting the z-axis. Let's click rotate in 3D, type in 90 degrees. Then for the center of rotation we are going to see the next mouse click. For the rotation axis it will be the x-axis of the active layer plane, because we are now in the layer plane. So let's click here and it rises. Then I'm going to place it in the base, to the base point of the trunk. Alright. Then I need to place a working plane using the first mode. The first point will be the base point of the support, then one of the points on the line over here and one of the point on the line over here. So now I could create objects that lays in the same plane that these two groups. Okay, let's connect the first point over here and the point on top of the support. Then I'm going to grab the move by point tool using retention mode. So I will create copies and place two more lines like that. Then, since all these objects are in the guidelines class, I'm going to see only the active class. Now we cut the objects. Oops, does not work like that. Doesn't work in some cases properly. So, yeah, they were cut, but not in the proper way. I mean, in this mode they should have gone, but they were remaining. Does not matter. So in these points we are going to see, oops, I've just lost the working plane. So in these points we are going to see the division of the trunk. If you are interested in the principle of this division, I mean when we place one group and make projection lines, just type in the comments so we could talk more on this feature. So let's restore the class options to show snap others, and yeah, I want to go back to the image. Now let's think about these secondary supports, the curvy ones. They start from the platform on the top, very near to the edge over here, and go until the first point of the division. Alright. So definitely we may shorten the trunk from the base point to the first division over here. So let's grab the Pushpull tool. Doesn't matter which one of two of them you are going to use. Extrude face or move face. Be sure that your work in show snap modify others. Hop. I'm holding Alt to select the hidden face. Okay. Then I'm going to create another working plane that comes from this point to this point and to this point, but I don't have anything here, right? So let me restore the support 3 working plane, and I'm going to look perpendicularly and place line like that. So the aim is to find the place where the secondary trunk starts. For example, it could start from the center point of the fillet. Why not? So let me place a point like that. Yeah, then everything is ready to create a new working plane. So first point will be here, the second on the locus, and the third one in the base. In the base or in the first division, doesn't matter. Let's save this new working plane. Support the force. And yeah, we are going to look perpendicularly. Let's rotate it like so and press the button again. So now it looks normally. I'm going to place another locus over here, so it's a projection of this one, and the curve will start. Right, let me grab the polyline tool, switch to the Bezier mode, and yeah, it's going to be something like that. If you have any issues with snapping, you may find convenient to press and hold B button, and in most of cases that helps. Then I need to switch to the Reshape and move the vertices slightly. So it definitely won't go through the center of the trunk, but it's going to touch the edge. Yep. So that's it. Then why don't we place a circle, because the cross section is circular, and it's going to be, let's think, maybe 8 millimeters. Oh, sorry, the diameter will be 8 millimeters. Let's select the curve and the circle and place them to the none class. Then let's enter the model menu and look for the extrude on path command. So be sure that the path object is being highlighted, not the circle. Nothing special, just let's hit OK, and we see that new object has been created, but the class is guidelines. Let's switch to the none. So it's going to be rendered, because it renders only if the fill style is not set to none, so normally it will be solid. Okay. So now I'm thinking that maybe I was wrong placing vertices a bit apart of the center. Let's study the image. Yeah, I think so. So we need to move them back, because you see that it goes from here and comes very smoothly to the same line with the edge of the main trunk. So let me go back. I'm using these arrows. They are not undo or redo, they just switch the views. Alright, let's click twice. No, not twice, but with the right click and find edit path command. So we definitely need to restore the support the force, but it's a bit off the center, yeah, because inside of the plugin objects and most of the model with history we have local coordinate system, but it has the same angle, so we just may place it in the beginning like that, and yeah, it works. Let's turn off everything. It's now a NURBS, yeah, it's not a polygon, so it works a bit in a different way. Okay, here using coordinate bar I just type -7.5. Then 0, then 0. And the same here, but I'm not sure. Maybe we need to use snapping. Okay, that's it. Of course, it's better to do everything in the beginning. Yeah, now I see that it doesn't look natural, so let me delete it and create from scratch. I'm going to activate the previous working plane, then using the Polygon tool I'm going to create. Sorry, it was not Polygon but polyline tool. So the curve now in the place, I'm going to place a circle with diameter equals to 8. Let's select both of them, go to the model and look for Extrude on path command and hit enter. So now it's better. No, still not. Actually still not, because yeah, I understand what's the reason. This one should be moved a bit away from center. So let's move the point until it touches the edge, and then using a short formula, let's type -4. And the same over here. Maybe it's good to use snapping. Okay, now everything is going to be fine. Let's use a shortcut, Command Alt X, for the same command. So now it comes smoothly to the edge. Alright, we need to enlarge to continue the trunk. So the fastest way is to use the push-pull tool in the second mode, move face mode. Let's continue it like so, and then look to the working plane, grab the split tool, and using the trim tool just move what we don't need. Alright, then let's activate the support assert and look from top in perpendicular state to the working plane. We see through the platform the secondary trunk has been selected. So let's grab the mirror tool using duplicate mode and draw a line that goes 45 degrees like that. Since the platform has an axis of symmetry that goes like that, we could make a copy of the secondary trunk just reflecting these symmetry axis. Alright, now let's think about the rattan skirting. Let me name it like so, and it comes from the point division the first to the point division the second. In this project it will be represented as a surface with the thickness, so it will be something like a shell. Alright, to create such a shell we are going to place another working plane. I'm trying to place it perpendicularly to the way of the trunk, and there I'm going to create rectangle, and this rectangle will be turned into a surface using create surface from curves command. Then let's move this working plane to the point of the division the second, and the same there, a rectangle that will be turned into a surface. Also, it's good to create something in between, so let's create another small rectangle just for helping needs and extrude it from one surface to this one to the first, from the second to the first, and I'm going to use move by point in the rotation mode, so there will be a copy of the second surface. So 3 planes. Perfect. Then we are going to select the trunks, copy them using plane copy command, and make a solid addition from the set of the trunks. Then I'm going to place the original copies to the hidden layer temporarily. We will need them, but this new solid addition will be copied again. Yeah, we can't copy objects multiply using clipboard, so only one object or set of objects could remain in the clipboard. That's why I've placed the original to the hidden, and yeah, now I'm good to to go with copying of this new solid addition. So I've copied it, then one by one I'm going to intersect it with the planes. So let's scroll down until we see the intersect solids command. Let's place the solid addition back and repeat the operation. This time I've used a shortcut, Command-Alt-I on Mac, Control-Option-I on Windows. Okay, and the last time. So let's restore the working planes. And here I'm going to use Clip Cube to cut visually what I don't want to see. Okay, so it's a view from the perpendicular state to the working plane. Alright, now I need to create a polyline that sums these objects up. It's good to start from the circles, and yeah, there's a 3 points mode. That allows us to restore circles. They are not circles actually, they are something more complex, but we approximate. Okay, when the circles are created, we could delete the intersection. Then let's toggle the tangent mode of snapping, and let's start from the bigger circle. So we move clockwise, connecting them. Please find tangent hint when you touch the next object. So they all are connected tangentially. Then let's grab the scissors and cut everything until such a close shape appears. Let's select everything and find compose command. Normally the compose command is over here. Alright, perfect. This one should be turned into NURBS. So the command will be modify convert to NURBS. Okay, people starting coming, so it could be a bit noisy. Sorry for that. Okay, let's continue. Let's place the second working plane on the second slice. Let's clip visually everything but the object. Oh, not this one, this one. Okay, let's look perpendicularly. Then we are going to grab a circle using 3 points mode. So very briefly, I've just restored the circles. Then we could delete the original slice and connect everything with lines. Oops, please be sure that the tangent mode is turned on. Let's trim. And yeah, trimmed objects will be composed. And then let's convert them to NURBS. And the last one. He will be just a circle in the normal radius mode. But at the end, yeah, conversion to NURBS. So we have 3 slices. Let's group them, and then we are going to continue working inside of the group. Let's assign them to the none class, and then, yeah, they have already been turned into NURBS. Then we need to study some information about them using the object info palette. In the bottom of the palette we see the number of vertices and the degree. So these two have the same amount of vertices, 19. This one has only 7. We need to rebuild it before we come to the loft creation. So let's go to Model 3D Power Pack and let's look for rebuild NURBS. Let's type in 19, so the same count of vertices, and hit OK. We are not going to change the degree, because when we increase degree, the number of vertices also increases. So let's leave the degree as it is, only making vertices to be equal. Then the next step before we start creating the loft will be studying the direction. Every flat curve or 3D curve like NURBS have direction, and once you have placed a tick to the show direction box, you could study directions of all curves in the document. So let's study. The first one goes clockwise, the second one also, but this one, the last one, goes counterclockwise, so we need to change the direction. Please find the reverse direction button, and that's it. Now all of them go in the direction of clock. So yeah, let's scroll the model tools until we find the loft surface command, and since we have slices, our option is the first one. So without further ado, let's select them one by one and hit the green tick, or alternatively enter button. So let's hit the preview, and we are not going to add any options here. Just please be sure that the result, that you see something in the result, and then press OK. Now it's a group. Let's ungroup it, because we are already inside of one, and since it's in the guidelines, the class that has no fill, it looks a bit weird. So let's place it to the none, so we see that it's something material. So it is a set of NURBS surfaces, so they are like foliage, they are separate. But we are going to create one object of the set. So let's select them all and look for the add solids command. So they are not solids, right? But the command that works with solids works also with such geometry. Then we are going to create a thickness of the surface. So let's grab the shell solid tool, First, we need to decide about the thickness. It will be 4 millimeters. Yeah. Then we need to select one by one all the surfaces. Fortunately, there is no option like create or select everything. It will be very convenient. When you are ready, just hit the green sign button or enter. Doesn't work, so maybe something has been omitted. Let's try one more time. Alright, so I have managed to create the solid. Maybe it's too thick, so after the creation you could just modify the result. Please be sure that the shell solid, the thickening, was made in the proper direction, not towards the center but outside. This one that says that it's inside, it's only arranged on the original normal of the NURBS, so they could be oriented inside originally. So after the creation, the program thinks that this opposite direction is inside. Okay, so that's it, and we could do the following with the shell. We could cut it actually, and to do so we just move this working plane to the beginning of the skirting and place a rectangle. Let me assign the non-class to the rectangle, and I'm going to switch to the working plane view and look from one of the side views, let's say from right view, and I'm going to use nudge using the arrows on the keyboard, placing this slicing plane in a position where it is going to cut the cap, the uneven cap on the top, like that. Then I'm going to extrude it just a bit and select both of them and scroll until subtract solids. So the object we subtract from will be highlighted. So in our case it will be the skirting. Let's hit OK, and now we see that the cap is even. We could do the same on the bottom, but I'm not going to do it right now because it looks natural. Don't need to cut it much. Okay, let's exit the group. We are going to explode the group using ungroup command. And yeah, let's go for the original trunks, to the hidden layer. They're still selected, so let's copy them and place them back. Alright, let's study the reference image again. So the skirting comes to the point and then comes the lid. Okay, the lid will be a bit approximated. in my case. So the creation starts with placement of the working plane. Then let's rotate it around the red x-axis. Please be sure that you rotate 90 degrees. Then let's grab the polyline tool using, I think, yeah, it won't be the polyline but the arc tool using the tangent to line mode. So where we see the endpoint, let's draw the straight piece that touches the projection of the base point of the whole support, like so. When you clicked and release the shift, you'd see that an arc is going to be created. Okay. Yeah, I think we are going to cut this one. Yeah, just slightly using the split tool in the trim mode. Yeah, like that. Then why don't we grab the push-pull tool? Not sure that it will be working. Yeah, it will. It's a bit heavy task for the tool. No, it won't. But I believe that in the first mode, just straight extrusion, it will be working correctly. So it's a bit approximated, but it's just 1 millimeter. Okay. So I'm going to rotate the working plane so the perpendicular view will be looking normal. So here is the base point of the leg, yeah. So there we are going to stop the arc using the trim tool. Oh, sorry, the split tool. But actually, yeah, it was a wrong place. I think that it starts from here, so let's go back. Let's place a straight piece of line that goes like that. Let's switch offshore direction, and I'm going to make a copy, just thinking about the rubber part. Maybe this one is too steep. I'm going to delete it and place another one. Something more modest, like so. Then why don't we cut it? Also, I'm going to turn off the fill, so there is no sector here. And let's create a profile for the rubber part. So it will be something like that. Maybe Even we need to place the end point apart a bit off the center and add a straight piece like that. Let's create a very short straight piece of line. Select it and the arc, and look for the compose command. Then I'm going to create, first let's measure 1 millimeter. Then let's come to the fillet tool, and for the radius let's type in, I don't know, 0.8 maybe, so there is a rounding. I think 1 millimeter is better. Then we need to create one more straight piece, actually not one but two. One more here and the next one on the top. This one should be copied. Let's select. It's tricky to select over here in this place, so let's be sure that we are in none class, and let's switch to active only. So the set of 3 objects will be composed. Let's place back, before we do anything, let's delete the guidelines and place back the short line and add this to the polyline, the section of the rubber part. Let's restore the solid fill style of the section of the lid. Select the first part and let's go to the model and perform sweep command. And the same with the rubber part. Okay, so in the classes we have only one material class. I mean a class that represents material, the rattan. So let's create 2 more classes. First will be metal, not metal but maybe steel. Use it creation for the color. Why don't we place gray. Later we could assign texture, but not now. Let's press OK, and one more for rubber. Use it creation, something darker, and let's assign objects to the proper classes. We can't see the rubber because we are in the active only class option. And of course let's assign all the rest to the rattan. Okay, let's hide the guidelines. Then in the beginning, in the base point of the support, let's place a 3D locus of none class. And that's it. So we are in the top plan view now. Let's rotate slightly. And the following thought is that since we have a repetitive unit, because all the legs, in my opinion, are same, it's good to create a symbol. Yeah, symbol is an equivalent of block in terms of AutoCAD, or a component in terms of SketchUp. So we are going to select everything that belongs to the support. Go to the modify menu and look for the create symbol command. So it will be named support. For the insertion option, let's use next mouse click. When we hit OK, we will be prompted to the selection of the point. For the class, why don't we use rattan or none? Doesn't matter. I will leave rattan. Okay. So now we have an aim, and let's look for the 3D locus. Now we are asked where in the structure of the file we are going to save it. It will be saved to the root folder. So if we open the resource manager, we see the very single resource in the root folder of the file. Alright, now let's look from the top, and let's restore the guidelines, and the placement of the supports has the center of symmetry in the center of the object. And dealing with symbols, when you deal with symbols, it's not good to mirror them. So if there is a possibility, please rotate them. So I've just grabbed the rotation tool in combination with the duplicate mode, and I want to rotate the supports one by one. So that's it. Then let's be sure that they are on the proper layer. They should be on the layer supports. Okay, maybe we need to make the seat a bit higher. Yeah, just a few millimeters. Instead of moving objects, why don't we move the no, actually we need to move objects. Yeah, so let's go to the seat. Let's turn on the supports. I'm going to select everything on the layer and perform the move 3D command. So the shortcut will be Command Alt M on Mac, Control Option M on Windows. So since I want to lift it, I'm going to use the Z axis. I think 4 millimeters will be enough. Maybe a few millimeters more. So I'm looking for the previous selection command, and I'm about to perform the move 3D command again. Okay. Of course it's just an approximation, yeah, because here we have some artifacts, but for example, in a render, we are not going to see these small fallacies. I think it's acceptable. If you disagree with me, just leave a comment. Maybe I need to be more precise. Okay. Just want to see the whole picture of what I've just done. I think it's not bad. So in the next video we are going to discuss how to create the pillows, and we are going to use subdivision approach. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment or message me using email or Instagram Messenger. So that's it. See you.